Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. So many amazing success stories that come out of Ottawa, and I will say it's not just an Ottawa success story, it is a Canadian success story. The growth over the last, I think it's over 30 years now, has just been absolutely amazing, and they just had a huge loss. I'm talking Ross Video, and we know Ross Video well here at Rogers TV, probably using some of the software and technology to air this show of Daytime Ottawa to you at home. I'm joined by Cathy McCallion. She's the Community Relations Manager over at Ross. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
Let's first of all talk about the history behind Ross Video, because as I said, what an amazing success story.
It really is, honestly, Derek. So the company's almost 50 years old.
I said over 30 years,
yeah,
almost
so
50.
It's almost 50. It was founded in 1974.
Wow.
In the garage of Mr. John Ross's home, like his home in Montreal.
Yeah.
And so then from there, John moved the company to a small town called Iroquois, Ontario. It's about an hour outside of Ottawa. And that's where he started the manufacturing facility. And John, to this day, lives in Iroquois. He's an absolute community man. The facility is still in the manufacturing facility.
Really?
Still in
I didn't
Iroquois.
realize it was still there.
We just doubled the size of it.
Did you?
And it's already full. It's not. We haven't even opened the new section of the facility, and I've been told the space has already been taken up, and we're starting the plans with the second expansion.
Right. So, I mentioned incredible growth. Well, like, where are you at as far as the amount of employees now compared to years ago?
So we are almost at 1,300 employees worldwide. We just celebrated our 31st year of growth.
31 years of constant consecutive growth. You also just celebrated a huge launch, Hub350, I believe you're calling it. Tell us about Hub350 and what makes it special.
Hub350 is an incredible space in Kanata North, and right in the middle of the Kanata North tech sector.
Yeah.
And it's a space where the companies, the member companies, and educators can come together to collaborate. So I heard about the vision a couple of years ago. I sit on an HR council with the Kanata North Business Association. And Jamie Penton, who is the executive director of Kanata North Business Association, talked about her vision for the hub. This was 2 years ago, 6 months into the pandemic.
Okay.
And during that call, she talked about the vision, and she mentioned, she did with a little wink in her eye, that she wanted to include a media lab in the hub.
So what does that consist of, a media lab?
So a media lab, it's, or a media studio, right?
Okay.
Very much like what Rogers has here. It has all the technology for live production. It's not a huge space, but we don't need a huge space.
I guess in today's day and age you don't, right?
But it's a wonderful space, and it houses Ross technology, and it allows the member companies to tell their stories.
I know we were talking off camera about that, right? I mean,
and that's what Ross does.
You are part of the storytelling experience that everybody sees, whether it's on television or, at a concert and feeding video onto a big screen, you're part of that storytelling. And that must be exciting. I mean, just talk about the team at Ross and what that experience is like working there, because I know that it's a really tight-knit unit, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is. I mean, you can tell it's a family company, right? We care about our employees. It's a people-first organization. And we don't just say that, we walk the walk, right? It really is, we truly care about each other, and we care about our clients, right? And it comes out in everything we do. So,
who's going to use this? Who do you see using this media hub, this Hub350, this lab?
Certainly the member companies. So that consists of over 500 companies in the Kanata North Business Park.
Wow.
And our key educators right here in Ottawa. So those key educators include Carleton University, University of Ottawa, La Cité, and Algonquin College.
When you think, I mean, this is maybe a difficult question because I know you've been involved in so many huge projects over the years, but does one come to mind? Can you highlight a project where you're like, can you believe that this company was involved in this particular project?
Oh, there are so many, honestly. I'm going to say the big game. I cannot say what the specific name, but I think when we say the big game that occurs, in January, February of each year, we're also involved with the Olympics. We do live entertainment shows. So that's huge for us.
I wonder if, you mentioned John, right?
Yeah.
And starting in basically his basement kind of thing.
That's right.
Would he have imagined doing the big game? I mean, that is just...
I can't even imagine. But I don't know if you know
spectacular.
this, but John is a recipient of the Order of Canada as well.
Yeah.
I mean, an incredibly accomplished individual.
Upcoming projects? Do you have any upcoming projects you can share with us? Or I know they're constant,
there
right?
are so many. We just had a recent acquisition, SpiderCam.
Okay.
In Europe, which is out of Austria and Germany. And that is a product that its cameras mounted on cables that go across large fields and stadiums. So that's really exciting. So I'm sure there's a lot of fantastic projects that are going to come out of that. But lots of wonderful things happening at Ross.
For sure. You had the big launch on, I believe it was October 25th. What was that like? I know you had a great turnout.
Really, really exciting turnout. A lot of industry leaders, the media, educators. So it was a great mix of people in the community. And what was really wonderful about that event is everyone was coming up to me with new and interesting ideas about how to use the Media Lab. And I actually said, we need to sit down and we need to write all these great ideas out because everyone had wonderful, wonderful things to contribute.
You mentioned how many businesses are probably going to use it. If there's a business watching right now, right, and they need help, what's the best way to reach Ross Video?
So it's through the Kanata North Business Association and is through Hub350.
Right.
And they do have, the hard launch will happen in January, and they do have a reservation. They are able to take reservations starting in January. So,
Cathy, really appreciate the time. Congratulations on all the success. We'll be right back.
Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure.